Being productive does not have to be complicated. In fact, it can be very simple, and you can go all small for what I call big productivity. Balanced, intentional, go-getting productivity. And you can do it in small ways. Today, I'm going to give you many ways, many little small ways for you to be able to stay productive with 5 quick 1-minute tips, 1-minute things that you can do to really maximize your productivity. All right, let's jump into it. Hi, welcome back to the All Small Productivity Podcast. My name is Amber Davis, and I am a speaker and a productivity coach and consultant. And I also co-own a video production company in the Nashville area with my husband called Dad Chavis Productions. We work with content creators and small businesses to help them capture their content, and I help them with productivity tips, as well as when I go out and speak. And so today I wanted to have a mini version of the podcast. We're going to do a quick mini version of the podcast today. So if you are listening on your favorite podcast venue, thank you for listening. You can text me a note, a question, a comment in the show notes, and I can answer those text questions back to you in future episodes. Or if you are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe and send a comment below. Today, we are jumping into a quick tip, and it is about, as you can see here on my board, 5 quick 1-minute productivity tips. So I'm going to give you 5 quick little productivity tips that you can do that are really going to maximize your productivity. Again, I say go all small for big productivity. Most of the time, we're trying to bite off too much when it comes to our productivity. And if we just do some smaller things, it actually snowballs into really big productivity. So here is a couple of tips. My number 1 tip, and these aren't in any particular order, but just in order of maybe when you could do them. So this is why I jumped into this one first. So number 1, you want to jumpstart your day by doing something the night before. So a nightly short list. You can read my writing there. And if you are listening, I just wrote on the board, a night short list. One of the things that my dad has taught me over the years is he was a really amazing salesperson. But what he would always do is before he went to bed, he would take his bigger to-do list that he had, and he would just write down 3 things that he needed to prioritize for the next day. So the reason why this is great is because you can do this in just 1 minute, and you get a sheet of paper, you can get a little notepad, and you put it on your desk. And if you work from home, that's great because you have it on your desk. If you have to go to an office, you can take it with you, but just on a little sheet of notepad, like a little notepad, just jot down the 3 priority things that you have to get done tomorrow. This will be huge because you can start your day quick. As soon as you get into the office, you've got your list there, you know what to tackle first, and it becomes a priority for you. So that night short list is huge. Number 2 is to have a quick routine, a quick morning routine. So I'll put quick morning routine. And when I say quick, your quick morning routine could take 30, 45 minutes to do. Maybe it takes an hour for you to do this quick morning routine, but it's quick because you have already lined out, like, these are the things I'm going to do. So I'll take you through my quick morning routine. So when I get up, the first thing that I do is number 1, I hit the ground with my knees and I say a very, very short thankful prayer. That's just the first thing I do. So it's very quick. As soon as I roll out of the bed, I've trained myself. I just get down because I really want to start the day being grateful and thankful. So I do a quick prayer of just thanking God and just start my day with a very, very quick prayer that I do. And when I say quick prayer, it's just like a couple of sentences that I say every morning, being thankful. So as soon as I do that, then I do the necessities. And number one necessity for me is I've got to run to the bathroom, or I've got to feed my dogs and take care of my dogs. So my husband and I tag team taking care of the dogs. If you have like a necessity that has to happen as soon as you get up, maybe you have a cat, maybe you've got something that you have to take care of, like usually it's like an animal. But when my kids were little, it might be my kids, but I always got up before they got up. So that helped to alleviate that. But I go to the bathroom and take care of my dogs. That's number two that I do. The third thing that I do is I start my tea and I drink a full glass of water. And I do that because I heard years ago that a doctor had said that you sleep for 8 to 9, sometimes 6 hours, depending on how much sleep that you're getting at night. But if you're getting a full night's sleep or you're not getting a full night's sleep, that time during the night, you're not drinking any water. And so your body's dehydrated when you wake up. So I always drink a full glass of water and I start my tea. So again, to recap, I do my quick prayer, I run to the restroom, feed my dogs, and then I get I drink a full glass of water and start my hot tea. You might start your coffee, whatever it is that you have in the morning. And then number 4 that I do is I do my daily devotional. So I get my tea and I sit down and I cozy up in my cozy chair or outside on my porch if the weather's nice, and I do my devotional. I read my Bible, I pray, I sing a quick praise song, and I spend time with the Lord for my daily devotional. So those are the 4 things that I do to start off. And then number 5 I do some kind of stretching or some kind of exercise. Now this doesn't have to be like some long routine, but I'll do stretching, like yoga type stretches, that I do these stretches and do this exercise. And I already have my mat and everything, all my exercise space set up. You might go to a gym. Maybe that's something that you do. But I just do these quick, because I can do it. It's a quick morning routine. I can really do it quickly. And I know that I get in my stretches just to be able to get my day rolling. And then the 6th thing that I do every day is I make my bed. And almost, I would say 90% of the time, I'm making the bed. Sometimes my husband will make the bed if he gets up later. But usually a lot of times he'll leave it because he knows that I actually enjoy making the bed, because while I'm making the bed, I pray over 2 specific things. Our church family and my family and extended family. So I pray while I'm making the bed. And it's a very quick prayer. These are all quick things. So these are just the 6 things that I do before I jump into my work, before I start my day. So that's that quick morning routine that I have. So that's just 6 quick things. And so when I say this is a 1-minute tip, you could actually sit down right now and make a list of things that you could do in the morning that become a habit. And you've heard before that it takes about 21 days to develop and really strengthen a habit. Well, I wouldn't say strengthen, but I would say to develop a habit, to create that habit. And then you strengthen that over a period of like 2 to 3 months. And by the time that you get to about 2 months of doing a quick morning routine, something that you do over and over again, it will become so habitual to you that it'll feel weird if you don't do one of those parts, i.e. why I make my bed, because it feels weird if I'm not making my bed, because it pops me out of that morning routine. So that's another thing that I do. All right. So another 1-minute quick tip that you could do is that anytime that you have a creative idea that comes to you, whether you are on a walk or in a car, or you're in church, or you are in a meeting, or you're at a movie, wherever you are, have a system for you to capture that idea. So what I do is I text it to myself, or I put it in my notes app, and I have a folder called ideas. So on your phone, you can use it on your phone and have a notes app on your phone, or you can text it to yourself. So that's that quick tip. You don't want to lose your creative ideas. So you've got to have a system to capture those ideas. I know of a comedian that uses the Notes app to write all of his bits. So if he's in an elevator, or if he's driving, or if he's traveling and he has an idea for a joke, he puts it in the Notes app. So he's constantly writing it down so that he doesn't forget it. And then he designates a time to come back to it later. So that's number 3 would be to collect creative ideas. Wow, and my writing is horrendous on that. So I am looking at my watch for time. So collect creative ideas. The reason why I pointed out looking at my watch is because that's my next 1-minute tip. 1-minute tip is get in a habit. I'll put number 4 on our list is timers. Set timers. Now the timer could be more than 1 minute, but it's going to take you really not even 1 minute. It's going to be less than 1 minute. It's going to be like 10 seconds, 5 seconds for you to be able to get into your phone, get into your watch, and set a quick timer. So if you are setting down to work on, let's say you're going to check your emails, set a timer for 30 to 15 minutes to check your emails. Set a timer if you are going to the grocery store. When I go into the grocery store, as I'm walking into the grocery store, I set a timer for myself for like 20 to 30 minutes. I'll set a timer for 30 minutes. Sometimes I'll set a timer for 45 minutes if I know that I'm buying groceries for the week. If I'm just running in to get something real quick, I'll set like a 15-minute timer. And it takes less than 1 minute to set a timer for you to be able to stay on track. But it is amazing when you make the timer the bad guy, it helps you create boundaries so that you can really be productive. So I highly recommend setting timers. All right, so that's number 4. I'm going to give you one more 5th quick tip for productivity tip. And this tip is all about being able to make sure that you are planning for your week. So when you think of something, when somebody calls you or checks on you about a meeting, or you're having a meeting and you're going to plan another meeting, go ahead and add that immediately to your calendar as quickly as possible. So if you think about it, go ahead and add it to your calendar. I know some people will be like, if I think about it, I'm going to do it. But you can't always do everything. But when it comes to setting a calendar, like when it comes to setting a date on your calendar, that when that time comes, if I'm in a meeting and we're talking about something else that's going further out into the future, then I'll be like, okay, let me put that in my calendar. So you immediately put it in your calendar. So plug calendar dates in as soon as they pop up in your conversation. So schedule immediately. So if I'm working with a client and we talk about, we need to have, we're going to have a meeting in the future. During that meeting, I'll try to schedule that. Go ahead and schedule that in there. If I am talking to my son about something and we're like, we don't want to forget that date, I'll immediately pull up my Google Calendar and put it in there. And this is one that I am getting better at daily. So there's always room for improvement. And I'm a productivity consultant and a coach for productivity, and I still can improve. But with these 5 things, these are things that you can be able to apply right now that's going to help you be productive. So have a night short list before you go to bed. Have your night short list so that you can hit the ground running in the morning. And I'm talking about 3 items that you can prioritize that, hey, I need to do this as soon as I get to the office or my desk. Number 2, have a quick morning routine. Already have it laid out. Go ahead and as you're watching this, have a sheet of paper. Start jotting down what could be your morning routine and how long should your morning routine last. I know that my morning routine lasts for about 1 hour. And so knowing that, I can back up the time. If I have to be somewhere, I know that my morning routine starts here. It's going to last about an hour. So then I can build budget and margin into the very first thing that I do after that morning routine. Number 3, collect creative ideas. Have a system to create creative collect your creative ideas on your phone, or maybe it's a notepad that you're writing down, but have a system for collecting those creative ideas. If it's texting yourself, writing in a notes app, or jotting it down. Number 4, set timers. Get in the habit of setting timers for yourself. You're going to see your productivity skyrocket. And then number 3, schedule immediately when you need to have a meeting with somebody or set a date with somebody. Go ahead and pop it onto your phone and go ahead and set that date immediately so you don't forget to do it later. So these are just 5 quick 1-minute productivity tips. Thank you for joining me today. And here's a huge productivity tip, hack, and freebie for you. Go to amberndavis.com and get my free teaching, The Best Way to Plan Your Week. It is a guide and checklist over the years that I have condensed down in order for you to meet with yourself at the beginning of your week. Before your week begins, you meet with yourself for 30 to 45 minutes max. You're syncing up your to-do list. You're syncing up your calendars. You're praying. You're focused in on what you need to accomplish in the week. And it is really going to help you go all small for big productivity. So check it out, amberndavis.com, and we'll see you next week. All Small Productivity Podcast is brought to you by myself, Amber N. Davis, using the podcasting platform Buzzsprout, which I highly recommend. Recording and editing is done by my husband's company, Dad Chavis Productions. Thank you so much for joining us today. And remember to go all small for big productivity. We'll see you next week.